Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to We Are Soccer. Nate just disappeared, of course. You start the show up and he disappears. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Lots of soccer happened this weekend. Before we jump into that, I do want to say a big thank you to everyone who showed up to our rescheduled Christmas party on Friday night. You are all legends, all 50 plus of you who came out. We had beer, we had fun, we had soccer trivia. We had a lot of fun that night. So thank you very much. We'll show you a couple of pictures a little later from that event. All right, so over the weekend, we had Arsenal go down. Top of the leaders go down to Manchester United. At home, Arsenal suffer a 3-2 loss. What an awesome game that was, by the way. I would call myself a neutral, but not really. I needed Arsenal to lose. I needed them to drop points. We'll tell you why soon. Villa top Newcastle. The first time I think we've beaten them at their place in 21 years. It's incredible. We haven't won there since 2005. Liverpool dropped points again, this time to Bournemouth. Oh, my word, 3-2. 95th minute goal sees Liverpool go down. Liverpool, I'm sorry, what's going on? We got to talk about it. Trinity Rodman signs a new contract for the NWSL. Big money there. Is she worth it? Is it worth the money to keep her around? We'll talk about that. Fulham put in a bid for U.S. men's national player Pepe. Chelsea and City both cruise. Yamal has scissor kicked his way into the highlights. What a great goal there. And a bunch of news and rumors coming on up. All right, let's jump in.
What? And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends. Winner!
Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team. Do I look like I'm freaking kidding?
He does things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
You can see a couple of small, as big snowstorm going outside here. So, yeah, looking for a different view here for the boys. Guys, hopefully we're doing all right. Hopefully everything is going all right this weekend. Nate, you're back. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? Nate, Are you there? Brooks, can you hear me? Oh,
I can hear
this is
you.
what happens.
Yeah.
It's like -20 outside and the snow's coming down, so technical issues. But we're gonna jump in. If you want to message Nate there, Brooks, go ahead. All right,
Yep.
Listen. I do want to say a big thank you to everybody who joined us at the Christmas party. Let's throw that up on here. As you can see, we had 50 plus people. We took a bunch of selfies. We gave away gifts. We gave away prizes. We raised a PT soccer fund. I am happy that we're going to be donating that to them very soon here. What a great night. We had several hours of beer drinking, soccer trivia, just chalking it up and chit-chatting soccer. So what an awesome night. Brooks, I think it went really well. I'm excited. I'm excited to tell very soon about our next event coming up, but we can't quite do that yet.
Yeah.
So awesome night. Nate, how are you?
Good. I don't know what happened.
That's all right. What's the shirt you're wearing?
No water. I got no. Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Thing on wheels. That pours it out.
I thought it had something to do with you not having.
No, I just have coffee.
All right. Yeah. No water means you'll be no coffee either. Bummer.
What?
Bummer. Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Man.
All right, man. Let's jump in, Nate. Your Manchester United team today went to the Emirates Stadium in London and absolutely stunned Arsenal. I mean, listen, 2 games in, 2 wins over Arsenal and 1 over Manchester City. Michael Carrick's doing something right. You got to be happy.
We're winning the league. We're the league is ours, and we will dominate for the rest of the. We're not losing ever again. That guy can cut his hair now, and all is right in the world. So there you go.
He's got 3 more games. He needs 3 more wins in a row to cut that damn hair. I'm so sick of seeing him, to be honest.
Finally.
Aren't you?
No, I mean,
jeez.
It's interesting because Carrick has never actually lost a game as a Manchester United coach, even as a caretaker. So he has like an undefeated record.
Yep.
So, you can make a case that whatever he's doing or however he's setting them up, they're playing well. You know what I mean? And they beat 2 teams at the top of the table. Now they got to run a games against teams that are in the lower half of the table. So they could actually make a pretty big run here and maybe secure their pull away from that 5th, 6th spot and secure that top 4. We'll see. It's nice to see him playing well, and it's nice to see the players that that we thought were good actually show that they are. So we'll see. It's one of those wait and sees. Like, what else do you do? I don't know if he's the future or not. Probably not. But you just kind of wait and see, and you just buckle in for the roller coaster ride. That is a club that's been flailing that fired their manager. I mean, it's what you got.
Listen, we all knew the players at that club were good. They're all good players, okay? They all just needed to be put in the right spot, the right position, the right motivation. Ruben Amorim clearly was not getting any of that or doing any of that to get the best out of those players. It's taken Michael Carrick 2 weeks, and he's already gotten 2 great wins. He's got them playing like a team. He's got those players performing like they should be playing. I'll be honest, the way I saw him set the team up, both games, I went, yeah, they've got a shot here. I loved it. I loved it because it's like, great. Now I don't have to hear any excuses. If Manchester United lose, I will be able to say I think he set them up in the right way and they still lost. They've won both games emphatically and done very well. Winning the league, winning the rest of the season, games out. I don't know. That's a little bit of a stretch, Nate, but absolutely top 4, top 5. And it only needs top 5, I believe it's going to be. I think it's absolutely possible. Nate disappeared again. Dang storm here in Michigan driving through. DX Gunner, 81-29. I was thinking about you earlier, buddy. Yeah. He's going to have to go. Arteta has to get out if they don't deliver the title. And I'm not saying any title. It's an EPL title you guys really want. And if he doesn't deliver that, he needs to take his jacket, hail a taxi cab, and get the hell out of the Emirates Stadium because I'm sorry. They've given him everybody that he wants. So, yeah, if he can't deliver, I'm going to agree with you. He got to go. Brooks, where are you at right now with Arteta? Year 8, he's got 1 FA Cup under his belt. Where are you at with Arteta? Does he need to remain in the club even if he doesn't win the Premier League this year?
I mean, I think, Danny sent a GIF, it was Arteta and it said bottled on it. He's bottling it again. Look at the stats today. They had more, possession was fairly close. 56% for Arsenal today. Expected goals, 1.19, but 15 total shots, only 4 on target. If you can't find the back of the net and you don't have guys that you paid to score, I thought, was Goryokis, was he the one to fix everything? We thought maybe they had a striker that maybe was the one that would do something. You can't rely on Declan Rice scoring free kicks left and right and Odegaard scoring goals all the time. You need someone. And Saka, I'm sorry, I just thought at some point he'd be kind of found out at some point when you use your left so much. He gets too predictable. So where are the goals coming from? Who's gonna get there? 9 corners to 2 for Arsenal. Big chances, they according to the EPL website, each team had one big chance in the match. But just look at our Man United capitalizing,
Yep.
It's huge from, and I don't know if you want to talk about the goal scoring, Nate. I mean, you had Mboimo, Drogu, and Cunha score. I mean, how'd Sesko look today?
Go ahead, Nate.
I mean, for a short time, so it was kind of hard to tell how well he did, but he was in there for like a bit. His goal, like, he did help contribute to the third goal, by setting it up.
Bring the ball down.
I would go take it. Yeah, but I would take it a step back with Arsenal. Really, they have possession. Who cares? Fine. Ooh, possession. It's a stat that people point to that, to me, sometimes doesn't mean anything because it doesn't matter. If it's not meaningful possession, then who cares? Really, the only two their goals. One of them was an own goal by Martinez. The ball hit. You didn't see it. And the other one, they threw a bunch of guys around in the box, boxed out the keeper, and in basically a rugby scrum match. Rugby, right, Craig? That's what you guys call it when they're running around.
Yes.
Rugby scrum match. Okay. And it's like outside of that, it really wasn't. There really wasn't much there. So, it was a very poor performance if you look at it for a team that's supposed to be at the top of the league.
Yeah,
100%, and a good performance from a newly reinvigorated United. As BX Gunner said, Carrick has United back on track. Couldn't agree more. He's got them playing in the right way. And listen, I don't know who they play in the next 5 games, but they play like they played today against the league leaders. They'll put 5 wins up on the board and they'll keep climbing. Will they get to go? Go ahead, Brooks.
Yeah, Man U. Do you want to bring up the schedule? I can do that.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, who they got in the next 5 games? Because they don't have Europe to worry about, right? So they don't have Europe to worry. And I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying that's a good thing. Carrick can now put even more pieces in place here.
Yes, correct. So they have the next up and coming game, February 1st is Fulham at home. Tottenham at home, February 7th, which
Thomas Frank games in a row.
Yeah. Thomas Frank's on the fritz, so he could be out by then, and then it could be new manager bounce or one direction or the other direction. Who knows how that'll go?
Mm-hmm.
And then they play West Ham away on the 10th. That should be a win. And then Everton away on the 23rd. And then March 1st, Crystal Palace at home. So,
are you kidding me with those teams? Are you kidding me
now? That guy should book his hair appointment now.
Yeah, you absolutely should. Are you kidding me with those teams?
Yeah, Fulham maybe the toughest one, right? That could be an interesting one. They just took care of Brighton today. They've been catching fire a little bit lately. They kind of started to put things together, but West Ham obviously got the big win over Sunderland this past weekend. But is that really enough to turn around to beat a Man U? I don't know. But yeah, like Tottenham isn't really on the upside either. So yeah.
And I tell you right now, with Tottenham, if Daniel Levy was still there, if Thomas Frank would be out, he'd have been gone 2 weeks ago. Maybe even further before that, because he has been terrible. That team has been absolutely terrible. That's going to be an interesting game for Man United, and I know those Man United players want to take revenge on that Tottenham team for beating them out in Europa last year. So, that's interesting. So United on a roll here. I think, if to be honest, 5 games, I think they'll win 3 of them, draw 1, and maybe just a loss because of it's the Premier League and it's done this all year. So I'm going to go 3-1-1. And then you're right, United will be back.
Yeah, they're fighting for it. I mean, they're in. The place they're in right now, the standings wise. I mean, 4th place with 38. I mean, 8 points separates them and Villa. I mean, Villa look good right now. But honestly, it's a scramble, Craig. Listen. I'm not trying to jinx anything, Craig, but Villa could compete for the league if Arsenal botch it because they're tied with Man City right now. Villa on points, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the season finishes out.
So let's jump to Villa a little bit here. So So obviously Aston Villa beat Newcastle yesterday 2-0. Really good game. First time we've been up there and won since 2005. 21 years. That's incredible how long it's taken us to get back up there and win in Newcastle. It just silliness. We never seem to win there. Villa dominated. I looked at the lineup and went, okay, this could be a bit of a struggle. And we dominated. We're lacking in the final third, putting shots on goal in the right positions. We seem to want to walk the ball into the back of the net. There's only one guy per game who wants to shoot from anywhere when he sees the target. So if Villa can just figure out how to play properly in the final third, they could have won that game by a lot more, just like some of the other games. But a 2-0 win up there is very good. Manchester City win 2-0 over Wolves. Now, the funny thing is, Manchester City, we'll look at the table again, and Villa tied on points, right? Manchester City are ahead of us on goal difference, way ahead of us on goal difference, plus 16, beating us out. But after the Arsenal game today, the commentators were saying, Arsenal bottle it. There's now a 4-point difference. Better watch out because Manchester City have a chance at winning this. Now, I've said it all year, and I'm going to say it again. We are not contenders. We don't have a strong enough team compared to those other teams, right? Even United, I think, have more players than us. I don't think we're a contender, but to just disregard the Villa like that, even though and when they're tied with Manchester City on a national TV is a bit of a kick thing. Again, now finish top 4, secure that Champions League. Players will come. I think that's going to be enough to keep us there for a couple of years if we can just get a years in the coming in. We've had a couple of injuries. Unfortunately, Tielemans went out today, injured at Newcastle. Injured with a knee injury. Bouba Kamara's out injured with a knee injury. Our midfielders are getting hit right now. So do you expect us to bring in a midfielder during this window? It looks like Abraham is coming in as well as a forward. He's been at the club prior. So listen, Villa are going to have the work cut out for them with the squad depth that we have compared to other teams. But I'll put the table up again here. Listen, I mean, after 23 matches, third on 46 points, tied for second, 4 points out of first. I'll take it. Not gonna say I expected this, but I expected us to be up in the top 6 or 7, just not third, 4 points out from first. So very happy to be where we're at.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about your schedule coming up? So you have obviously Salzburg at home on the 29th. So that's a European match.
Yes,
then you have Brentford at home on the 1st for EPL. Then you're away at Bournemouth, who Bournemouth had a good result against Liverpool this past weekend with a 3-2
result against Liverpool, scoring in the 95th minute to win it. I mean, they were up 2-0 against Liverpool. So that could, it's always tough down in Bournemouth. Yep.
Yeah, and then 11th, you're home to my Seagulls, so that could be unfortunately, that might be a Villa win there. My Seagulls aren't doing so great. And then you have an FA Cup game on the 14th against Newcastle again. So you're at home. And then 21st, you have Leeds at home. So a lot of wins there potentially, honestly, for Villa to move the table.
Yeah. The only thing that gets in the way is the amount of like FA Cup and Europa League games. So where do we start prioritizing? I watched the Europa League game on Thursday for Villa. We went to Fenerbahce and won 1-0. Tough game. We rotated the lineup a little bit. Still got the win. Should have won by more, but I'll take it. Now, are those games going to come in to cause us a little bit of issue later in the year as we make a push? So we'll see. We'll see. Nate will hopefully join when he can. All right, let's move on. So Villa topping Newcastle. Liverpool dropping points. Man, I tell you what, dude. Like, Liverpool, this is just a different team. Mo Salah comes back from AFCON, starts and plays. I thought he did okay, but in this game. But man, oh man, I tell you what, this isn't Liverpool of last year where they were high flying. Brooks, I got a question for you. Rumor has it Liverpool have touched base with Xabi Alonso. Should they pull the trigger and hire him now and sack Arnie Slot, or should they let Slot finish out the year, see how it goes, and then potentially hire Xabi Alonso? What are your thoughts?
It's an interesting one. I mean, they sit in 6th place right now with 36 points. So the question is, they're 1 behind Chelsea and 5th with 37. Fulham have jumped the table and are up in 7th place at 34 right now. And Brentford's at 33, and Newcastle have made their way up the table and 9th with 33, and Sunderland is 10th with 33. So there are a lot of close teams that are right there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're Liverpool, you got to ask yourself, do I want to keep this coach where I don't know what I'm going to get every week with my players or with the results? Because it seems like the players don't love him. Obviously they're looking to sell Andy Robertson. I don't know if that's gone through yet. I think we'll talk about that later in the rumors if he's being dealt to Tottenham. But today's stats, they dominated possession of the game. But the crazy thing is Bournemouth had a higher expected goals, XG, 2.35 versus 0.93 for Liverpool. That's crazy. Like, you would think if you have possession, you're scoring more chances and you have more expected goals. 14 shots, only 4 on goal for Liverpool, 12 shots total for Bournemouth, 5 on target, 3 big chances for Bournemouth versus 0 for Liverpool. Corners, 11 corners for Liverpool and 3 for Bournemouth. So they're not getting anything from set pieces and services. Obviously, Van Dijk ain't Van Dijk anymore, or they don't have a center back or any big targets to really find. And, it's worrisome. And they need someone maybe like the question with Xabi Alonso, I just worry is he was so detailed, and that's why they didn't want him at Real Madrid, because he was just too detail oriented. Does he have the time to quickly turn around that if he's going to be super detail oriented and there's not the players in place? So it's a double-edged sword. You let Slot finish it out, the players don't like him, they drop further down the table, and now you're not in European competition next year, which at Liverpool everyone expects, all the fans and everyone expect to be in Europe.
100%, absolutely.
But if we bring Xabi Alonso in, then it's going to take time. Like, listen, there's not really much of a window anymore. The window's closing here, or has. He's got to do what he's got to do. And is he that type of manager that's like, here's what you have, like, deal with it, fix it? And I don't know if he's quite that guy. He did it in Leverkusen, but he had some time, and it is the Bundesliga. It's not. Listen, the Bundesliga is a very good league, but it's not the EPL. So a lot of questions. For me, I would actually rather start the process with Xabi and then get rid of Slot and then see how the season goes, if he can savor it for sure. But then he can start rebuilding in the summertime to plan for his team in the fall. So,
yep. I saw this on the We Are Soccer Facebook group today. They said, the rumor was announced that they were talking or touch base with Xabi Alonso, and then a couple of Liverpool supporters jumped in and said, well, we should probably give Slot to the end of the season. And my big thing is, hey, I don't care what you do. It's your club. But if it's my club, if I'm a Liverpool supporter, and you just think that Xabi Alonso is going to be waiting around to come and coach your club, you are sorely mistaken. I know he was a legend at your club. I get that. But guess what happens? You think that you've got the time and he's just going to wait around to the end of the year and then see how it is. What if Manchester United touch base with him?
Yeah.
And everybody goes, well, he would never go to Manchester United. Well, I'll tell you something which can convince him. A little bit more money. A little bit more money, a little bit more power, a little bit more of everything. And he goes, you know what? Liverpool are going to wait for me, and who knows if that job's going to become available. And this one right here is available now. I'm on it. Or listen, maybe he likes the bright lights of London and Tottenham continue failing. And then Tottenham come calling. And guess what? Tottenham have a lot of money as well. So, hey, man, if you think Xabi Alonso is just going to be there waiting for you at the end of the year, I don't think he will, because there's a lot of clubs out there with a lot of money who want him in their club and coaching their players. So,
well, the reality is this too. Yeah, I'll say this too is I'm looking at their schedule. So they have a European match against Qarabağ FK. I don't know where they're from, but that's on the 28th of this Wednesday. Then you have a league match on the 31st against Newcastle.
Ooh,
at home.
Okay.
But then you have Man City at home on the 8th, right? So that's even. Then you have a Sunderland team. If they can find legs again, you're at Sunderland, which is not easy to win at the Stadium of Light.
Not easy to go.
Yeah. FA Cup game against Brighton at home in the 4th round on February 14th. And then you have on the 21st, Nottingham Forest, your way at Nottingham Forest, and they can sneak points somehow. So there's really not a guaranteed win, really in there. And it's going to be a difficult path. I mean, you're playing European soccer in FA Cup. You're playing every 3 to 4 days, It's not going to be easy.
Well, I got a feeling that the way those Liverpool players are playing right now, that they're going to drop points again in a lot of these games, and they're going to drop. And again, we'll put up the table, but man, a lot of these teams behind them, like you said, Fulham, Brentford, Newcastle, Sunderland, they're nipping at the heels there. They're going to start up, and Liverpool could find themselves out of European competition altogether. And that is not acceptable for a team of Liverpool's club of Liverpool's caliber. So I tell you what, changes will be made. Nice comment there from BX Gunner 81. Solskjaer is cooking, one of the top players in the game right now. Absolutely. We talked about this last year when he first came into the league after a couple of games. You just could see this man is incredible. He is absolutely. I would take Solskjaer on my team any day of the week. What a player he is. But unfortunately, right now he's playing with a bunch of clowns. Salah, Virgil van Dijk, by the way, made a huge mistake on the first goal against Bournemouth. I don't know what he was doing. And then he had the audacity to turn around and do this and blame his teammates. Again, Salah, Virgil van Dijk lost a step or two. Big rumor coming out today is there's several teams looking at Mo Salah. So in the summer, he could be gone. And I think he will be gone, especially if they don't finish in the European spots. So anyway, all right. Brooks, anything else on Liverpool?
Nah, I think quick decisions need to be made. That's my final statement.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about Trinity Rodman's new contract in a little bit. We're going to talk about dollar bid for U.S. men's national team player Pepe, and then a couple of other news and rumors we're going to talk about, and we're going to do all of that right after this.
Tempo, yes, drop out, good, yes, touch play, right foot, yes, scan, good, touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan, yes, Jay, well done, good side on touch, play, see it, yes.
All right, big thank you to our partners. Big thank you to Next Level Training there. They are the best trainers in Michigan. Trust me, get your kids out and into the camps and into the sessions that they do. They are absolutely phenomenal. Big thank you to Soccer World. The Soccer World 50% off sale is coming up at the end of this week. Check it out. Go to the website, soccerworld.net. They got all the information there. Make sure you visit one of their stores here in Metro Detroit. A big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood, Primal Recovery. Awesome series the Brooks has done interviewing them and lots of tips and tricks. So with the football doc, big thing. Ours, Brooks and I were out to the last couple of weeks here to look at the showcases they had going on. We had a lot of videos and interviews and great stuff from the showcases. The Michigan Jags do a great job of putting college coaches in front of the players at the club. So these players get to highlight their skills to college coaches from all over the country. Michigan Jags, great job on those showcases. And last but not least, big thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Again, phenomenal job by you guys and the staff for Friday night at our Christmas party. So super happy about that. All right, Brooks, I'm going to give you the option. What do you want to talk about next? Do you want to do the Trinity Rodman contract, or you want to talk about Fulham's bid for U.S. men's national team player Ricardo Pepi?
Let's do the Trinity Rodman because that's kind of interesting. It's it's a game changer, but for women's soccer here in the United States.
It really is. So let's set up real quick before you get too far down the road here. So Trinity Rodman has said she wanted to stay at the Washington Spirit. She's been negotiating with him. There's been a lot of back and forth with the league, the Spirit, and Rodman. Officially, it's come down this week that she has signed a 3-year contract to remain at the Washington Spirit. She's going to be earning $2 million annually. That's a lot of money, but she's kind of become the face of the league. So is it more about that, or is it more about how she plays on the field? What are your thoughts?
I mean, listen, this all started with the threat of going to USL Super League, which it was a team, the DC Power, that Michelle King, who owns the Washington Spirit, owns. So, you know, this was a thing within the thing that Michelle King was doing. And if anyone knows Michelle King, she's done wonders for women's soccer, NWSL, USL. She's invested heavily in it. She's given money to the U.S. women's national team program with the U.S. the female youth national teams for the U.S. soccer. This was a game. This was a push though from her to say, "Hey, I want to pay my player what I think she's worth. So when we sell her to Chelsea, to Arsenal, to a big time European club, that we get more in return for that. We get a bigger transfer fee for that. You know, we're raising the stakes here." And you know, they didn't have a rule. There was no rule that, you know, there's a salary cap. You know, they're fighting kind of maybe what Inter Miami are fighting for MLS is like, how do we raise the salary cap to pay players that deserve it a little more? So she played it smart. Listen, she played it smart. She's like, "Hey, I'll give USL all the highlights and PR stuff here and whatnot. She'll come play for me. I'll pay her for that much because there's no salary cap in USL." So smart decision by Michelle to really get the league to pivot to open up some stuff. And she gets this 3-year contract, $2 million annually. You know, and I'm gonna imagine, barring she stays healthy, the next year or two, she's gone. She's not gonna see that 3-year contract out. They're gonna sell her, get some money, and then they're going to try to find the next superstar to bring in. So credit to Michelle King. Trinity Rodman played it well too. So
that's a pretty bold prediction, Brooks. I like it. I really like that. Part of the problem is I don't think she remains healthy. I think she's been on the injury table for the last how many years? She's been with the Washington Spirit for like 5 years now. She's played 97. She's had 97 appearances and only scored 28 goals. The U.S. women's national team, she's had 48 appearances and scored 12 goals. I think you're right on this a little bit, though. I think you're right because a political movement by Michelle King and the Washington Spirit and the NWSL and what she wants to do and how the owners wanted to do this. I think it is. Do I think from a playing standpoint, the Trinity Rodman is worth $2 million a year? No, I don't, based on the fact that she's only in the last 5 years played 97 times and only scored 28 goals. But she is the face of that organization and the face of the league, and that is important. That is really important for marketing. So, this is an interesting move. It's almost like they needed to stop the bleeding because some of the best players in NWSL have gone overseas in the last 2 years, right? And I think if Trinity Rodman had been the next one to go, everybody would have put their hands up and said, well, what's the point? This is just, we're now a feeder organization, a feeder league to the other leagues. This is, So
for the longest time, I mean, America only had a women's league, really. Europe really didn't invest in anything until a couple years ago. I think when everyone started taking a little more seriously, as the U.S. women's team were just, spreading the gap amongst the talent years and years, Europe's like, we need to invest in the women's game. And, now it's much closer now between all the national teams. It's not the U.S. is over here and then everyone else is here. It's much closer. So, this is a thing where I think it's a political thing that Michelle King did, but I think she did it to take note that, like, we need to do what we can to be the best women's league in the world. Like, this is something that's huge for our country and huge for the domestic players. Listen, our the college game. I've interviewed a lot of college coaches lately, and from a couple, Brian Penske from Florida State, Nate Norman from Notre Dame. I mean, they talk about the ACC as being potentially the 4th or 5th best league, including the professional league in the world. And they're not wrong because it's so good. There's so many top internationals that come over, plus top domestic players. I mean, I think Florida State just sent off like 4 or 5 girls that just signed NWSL contracts. And Nate Norman's got a few that just went after Notre Dame and signed some pro contracts. So listen, like, we want to keep it here. And I think Michelle King's doing the right thing. She sees the future. She sees how the investment in the women's game here needs to grow. And, so this was a play in all different angles, in my opinion. It was to sell players over to get more money in return. And I think it was a play to be like, we need to invest more in our women and we need to break out a little bit. And, and I know she's one of the richer owners in NWSL. Not everyone, maybe no team is really making money at the moment, but it's a push to be bigger. And kind of what Darren Garber in MLS had to do at some point for MLS. How do we push to be bigger and take riskier investments and invest in the league and do more? And, when you push that, and then that makes businesses interested to be like, they're taking risk. Maybe we should invest in their league because maybe it'll be what it's supposed to be at some point. So credit to Michelle King and Trinity Rodman for this. So.
Well, a lot of money getting changed hands and a lot of power moves, and like you said, so interesting. Trinity Rodman, we'll see how this goes. Can she stay healthy? I don't think so, but we'll see. All right, moving on. U.S. men's national team player Ricardo Pepi is currently at PSV, and Fulham of the EPL have made an inquiry and have bid for him. They've bid around $38 million, which I believe is about 28 to 30 million pounds. PSV are seeking a little bit more, about 5 to 10 million more than that. Now, he's currently injured. He broke his arm. So I do expect him back. Listen, we've seen players, play with broken arms before and put a cast on it, like cast and bubble, whatever you want. I think he'll be back in the next couple of weeks. Fulham need a striker. I think they're buying him because he's going to be a younger version of Raul Jimenez, Jimenez is coming. His days are coming to an end. Good move. Should he move? Is it a good move now? Should he move later? Because we've seen him move before, Brooks, and it didn't work out very well. What are your thoughts on this move to the EPL?
I'm fine with this one. I know Augsburg was a rough one. I think that's a club, when it's a lower division German club, they need things quicker because you could face relegation, and then you have to go through the relegation, which the two go down, one's in a playoff, and things get kind of tight at the bottom of the Bundesliga table. There's not a lot of separation sometimes. Listen, he scored goals at PSV. I think I saw Ernie Stewart. I watched a video saying Ernie Stewart said that the Eredivisie is a great place for Americans to play. And I think you've seen a number of them kind of flourish in that Austria, Netherlands area, Germany, some guys flourish. And I think he's proven he can score goals. if Ricardo Pepi's not the main man to take over right away at Fulham, but to be like a secondary striker coming off the bench, maybe gets a start here and there, I think that I'm fine with that. I think he's he's got a lot of versatility. He can run in behind, he can score in the air, he can combine. Has a kind of like a Raul Jimenez, very much. Raul's a little bigger, better in the air, I'd say. But he offers them something similar to Raul, and he can be effective. It's probably good for the U.S. men's national team standpoint at 23 years old. I think it's a good push for him to keep doing that. I don't want to say secure your place, because your place is never secure with the national team, but to, make that push. You're seeing with Josh Sargent, no one wants me. Agent puts it out to Leeds and Sunderland. There was a couple other teams no one wants him. So Josh is like, I love playing in the championship, but they're about to get relegated Norwich City if they're down there. And Josh is like, maybe it's time to come back home in MLS and take that $18 million from Toronto. So, you need to play, and you need to play in a place where you're going to score goals and be happy. And that's the thing, is if it's a move where he's going to be happy for Pepe to go to Fulham, I think it's a great place. You've seen Brian McBride be successful at Fulham. You've seen Clint Dempsey be successful at Fulham. So I think they love the American player, in my opinion.
Yep. The American players do seem to fit in very well at Fulham, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
A couple players there, Tim Ream, Johnny Robbins. Absolutely. It's a good place for the American players to go. I think this is a great situation for him as well, because it is not into a type or big 8 type club where you've got 40, 50,000 people every single week barking down your neck, right? Fulham's a little bit of a smaller club. The crowd is big, so it's a good situation. He can get in there and learn. And I hate to say it, but he does have a little bit of an excuse. If things don't quite go well at first when he gets to Fulham, he could just say a little bit unsettled, still injured because of his arm. I still think he makes the U.S. men's national team squad for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's no sent it in, but I still think good enough. Provided he's healthy, he'll be in that squad. But I think it'll be a good move. I've learned his lessons from the other moves he's had. This would be a good one. Hope goes through. Time will tell. We've got about another week here before the window closes. Negotiating time available there for the two club. All right. This was an interesting one I saw today in the sun. Arsenal are looking at Alvarez, former Man City striker, who's gone off to Atletico. And he's doing well over there. He's scoring goals. They love him there. Rumor that he wants to come back to the Premiership. He likes playing over there at the moment for some weird reason, maybe because they're very expensive. But the rumor is Arsenal looking. I think it's a loose rumor, but that would be interesting. That is a type of player, I think, who could solve games, solve defenses that, like Manchester United put in place against them today. So I think that I really don't think it comes true. I think this is just paper talk. I think it's just trying to get clicks and reads. But if it happens, my word, I think, wow. BX Gunner just put in here. I can't even pronounce his name now, can I?
Ajimang.
Linked away from Derby County so soon. Yeah, that's interesting. I just got there. Brooks, go ahead if you want to talk about that.
I mean, he scored goals, right? So, I mean, he's putting up numbers. He's scoring in the air, doing different things. It's just this quick momentum move. It's an interesting, sexy pick. He's physical. He's big. But again, there were times in the national team, the IQ part and understanding how to pull players off the ball and, hold up, how to combine when holding up the ball and offering something a little different. I mean, if you're too one-dimensional, and I think, listen, I'm not saying that the championship plays poor soccer, but listen, there is definitely some direct soccer in the championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can't have players that death by 1,000 passes and score goals like Man City, you know what I'm saying? Where it's a tapping in the 6-yard box, right? So listen, he's a good player for different stuff. I would love to see, honestly, him go again to the Eredivisie. I'd rather see him go somewhere if he wants to make a move, but not now to the Bundesliga. Mm-hmm. If some, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest or someone looking at buy him, I'd be very wary, to be honest with you. just too soon. Like they make these moves way too soon without having proven anything. I mean, just because you score a couple goals, you know, in your first season, it's decent. That doesn't mean you're going to score goals again in the next fall season or in the next season when, you know, when the EFL championship begins. It's consistency. Can you do it not on a weekly basis or a daily basis or a monthly basis? Can you do it on a yearly basis? You know, a seasonal basis? Can you score goals? And that's where people get the hype going, and it's a little ridiculous. So I agree, it's too soon. BX Gunner, it's way too soon. I like the progression though. I like it. It's good to have a battle at striker for the U.S. men's national team. So we'll see how he progresses.
Yep, we'll see what happens with Ajuman there. Another rumor, interesting, I thought today. West Ham have turned down a bid from Flamengo worth almost £36 million for Lucas Paqueta. Interesting here. So West Ham, why don't we put up that table again? West Ham, as you see there, 18th in the table.
I know, a couple wins, right?
They're 5 points away from safety. They could be going down. Now, the bid has been rejected by West Ham because they said we need him for the run-in. We need him because we believe he is a key part to our team and trying to avoid relegation. And I agree with you, absolutely. But it's come out and he's said that I don't think he wants to leave the Premiership. I just think he wants to leave West Ham because, you know, how things have been going there. Mm-hmm. He did turn down a bid from Aston Villa this summer. He turned down a bid. The Villa were in for him, and he said, no, I'm going to remain at West Ham because this is the spot I want to be. Think he might be kicking himself right about now, Brooks?
I mean, could you have predicted they would have started that badly, I guess? Like, I don't think none of us had we had West Ham towards the bottom of the table, but not in the bottom three.
I didn't have them in the bottom three, but I will say I had them in the bottom 6, 7, 8. Yes, I didn't think they were going to be very good. I had Villa in the top 8, them in the bottom 8. And if you put Paqueta on our team, I think that equals another win, and we're in solid second place here. And he would probably be enjoying his football more.
Sure. Listen, if I'm West Ham and I know he's been itching to move somehow, just sell him. Like, just sell him to – just do it. Like, you may take a loss for it, but if he's a cancer in the locker room or he's not helping with anything and there's someone behind him that wants to play that's better or could become something, play him.
While I do agree with you a little bit there, I don't think he's been a cancer. I think he's actually been a captain a couple of times this year, but when on the field and he is playing well, Lucas Paqueta can score goals and really, really move the ball. So without him, no doubt they're getting relegated. With him, there's a little bit of hope. Is it going to be worth, 36 to 40 million pounds? Probably, yes. So they should keep him unless they get an absolute, huge offer to sell him. This is one that really I didn't think had any legs. And then I had 2 or 3 people mention it to me the other day, Brooks. This one took me by storm. Cole Palmer apparently is unsettled at Chelsea, and he's looking to move back to Manchester. Manchester United and Manchester City both on alert here. I don't know what it would cost for him to move, but he has a contract until 2033. He's not moving anytime soon unless a mega money move comes in and Chelsea accept it. 42 million pounds is what it took to pry him away from City, but no one really knew who he was. So Chelsea did a real nice job there, scouting and getting a good player at a good price. You want him back, Manchester City, or Manchester United? You want him? It's going to be 100 million. This guy is a stud of a player when he's happy and when he is playing in the system and healthy. He hasn't been healthy this year, so I think it's going to be between 90 to 100 million to pry him away. Chelsea have no reason to sell him.
No. I'm not surprised in happiness and the unsettling at Chelsea, just with the craziness of the front office and then firing a manager that everyone loved. And, it's interesting. The ex-Gunner says looking like a diva. Yeah, for sure he is. So the question is, the question is for me is, what if Vinicius Jr. goes at Real Madrid? Does that open up a spot for Palmer? You know what I'm saying? Because they have the money to spend him or to pay for him, and and maybe more of the style of soccer he wants. There's been rumors that, I don't know how true, but maybe Jurgen Klopp, maybe they want, because maybe he can handle everyone. Maybe they're not sold on that guy that just took over. You say, hey, Jurgen Klopp's coming. You want to play for Jurgen? That's a very attractive thing to say, right? And you're out in Real Madrid.
Yeah, even without a new manager like that coming in, I mean, players do not turn down Real Madrid. I never thought about that. You're right. If Vinicius Jr. moves on, then maybe they need to fill that hole. Although Palmer usually plays, he can play left and right, but I think he usually plays on the right. Anyway, that's a good shout. I don't see this happening. I see Chelsea just calming him down and saying, listen, we know we sacked a manager who you really liked. You've been not super healthy this year. It is just one of those years. Don't worry, things will get better. They'll calm him down. I don't see him moving, especially not in the January window. Yeah. Once the summer comes around, if the summer comes around, we'll hear he's settled and he's not moving. I don't see this happening. It's not very often superstars move in the January window. And again, he's signed a contract until 2033. This is part of the problem. If you're unsettled, you don't sign a 10-year contract, my friend, or 9-year contract.
Well, listen, how stupid do Man City look if they sign a guy they didn't want and they bring him back? I mean, to me, it's the ultimate stupidity move. Like that, it's the ultimate we fucked up move. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you recover from that? To be honest, because if I'm a newspaper reporter, I'm saying, wow, you wanted someone back you could have just had if you took time and put him in the system and found somewhere. You know what I mean? It doesn't look good for Man City, in my opinion, if they sign him back.
Agree. I will say, the first year that he went to Chelsea and he blew up the league and everybody went, oh my God. Pep did come out and say, looks like we didn't give him enough opportunity to show us what he could really do. As far as I'm looking stupid, I don't think they'll care. I think they'll just be like, you know what? We've got a hole to fill. We buy another player, throw some oil money at him, get him back. You guys think we're stupid? We don't care. We're going to try to win the league. So I don't know. Moving on. Arsenal loanee Ethan Nwaneri needed just 13 minutes to open his League One scoring account for Marseille. This is a great move for.
This is the young guy, right?
Yeah, it's a great move for both because Marseille said they wanted to buy him. Arsenal said absolutely no way. We'll loan him for the last couple of months of the season here.
Yep.
It just great. And the kid is going to blow up how poor League One has become. He's going to blow it up. He's going to score goals over there. And then everybody's going to go, wow, Arsenal, you really do have another player. Maybe they're not going to need Julian Alvarez when they bring this kid back. They can put him up top instead. Completely different type of player. But anyway, good move for Arsenal. Good move for Marseille. Good move for Ethan Nwaneri. Young kid doing well. Brooks, I think you might like this one. I'm kind of bummed that not on here. Chelsea are focusing on fixing their defense, and they're being linked with Bayern Munich defender Kim Min-jae.
Okay.
I don't like this move for them. I don't like the move. I think it's a bad move for them. I just don't think.
He's 29. He's 20. Like, really, you're going to get a 29-year-old? And, I mean, they held on to Thiago Silva for a very, very long time and guaranteed he was good, probably till about his last year he was with them. But you're going to sign a 29-year-old guy. The question is he athletic enough to play at this age to play in the Premier League? No. He doesn't. I don't believe he starts all the time anyways for Munich. He's had 64 appearances and 4 goals since 2023 for Bayern Munich because they always swap center backs all the time around. So I don't understand that one. That's a weird one to me. Yeah.
This rumor popped up and I was like, is this what? How? Why? Who would even consider this? Yeah. The only thing that I would say is he's 29. He's been through a lot of different.
He's played for Napoli. He's played for Bayern. He's played for some big clubs, Yeah.
And he could mentor the young players that they have there. But other than that, this is a terrible idea, and I do not see it happening in the slightest. So moving on, let's put it that way. You mentioned it earlier, Andy Robinson to Spurs. By the way, that has officially now collapsed, according to the papers. Tottenham and Liverpool were reportedly discussing a potential £5 million move, £5 million move for Robertson to move from Liverpool to Spurs. it's collapsed. He's out of contract this summer. He knows he's not going to get playing time. So I think what's going on is Liverpool have said, we need all the players. We can't afford to let anybody go right now. It's probably not worth letting him go for £5 million. Not even worth it. So just hang on to him. If we could just, if letting him go means we finish 9th instead of 8th, there's a lot there. So just hang on to him. And then he can then go and pick wherever he wants to go in the summer. He probably won't sign back up with Liverpool. So that deal, according to Fabrizio and some of the papers, is officially dead.
So another Liverpool player gets to leave on a free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He's older now, right? So they got Kirkes, they got Frimpong, they got players in the back they can move around. So I don't see that being an issue. I think that's fine letting him leave.
He's 31, right? He's kind of at the end of his career. Some teams get very finicky with that age. Like, how much am I the transfer? Like, I mean, how much was Tottenham really going to use him, to be honest with you? And was he really going to be as effective as, whoever else they could go get from somewhere, or an academy kid? So,
right. Yeah. Exactly. I mentioned it earlier. Tammy Abraham to Aston Villa is currently on loan at Besiktas. Medical looks to have been completed. We haven't heard if the medical's passed, but it looks to be an £18.2 million move. I like this move, although he is 28. And all the Aston Villa fans are going, wow, this is great. We've been needing to bring him back for a while. Well, that's because all you Villa fans are remembering Tammy Abraham from yesteryear when he helped us get promoted to the Premiership. Man, that was 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago, and before his knee injury. He had a bad knee injury. He was out for a year. So can he get back to a good form? I think so. I hope so. I really hope this works out, but I think Villa fans need to just go, hey, he's not going to be quite as quick. He's not going to be quite as lethal as he was when he was first with us and made his move from Chelsea over to it.
So I don't understand this one.
Mm-hmm. Well,
for me, I don't understand this move.
Tell me why. Tell me why you don't understand it. I'll give you a count to it.
Fair enough. So 2021 to 2026, he had 84 appearances for Roma and 26 goals. That was, you could argue that was, besides when he started with Chelsea from 16 to 21, where he had 58 appearances and 21 goals. And then when he was on loan for Bristol, where he had 23 goals and 41 appearances. But it's been a drop since then. At Milan, he was loaned to 28 appearances, 3 goals, and it really didn't work out. I thought that was interesting when him and Pulisic were going to play together because they played together at Chelsea. Didn't work very well. Then now he's loaned to Besiktas, or he was loaned last year to Besiktas in 25-26. 18 appearances, 7 goals, and since seems like they bought him Besiktas, that no appearances and no goals right now. So what besides Watkins and whatever, does he offer you that much more? That's my question, really. There isn't someone better at 20 that's younger than 28 to go by?
I think he's looking for a way back in. I think his wages are going to be low. Looking for a way back in England. I think I trust Unai Emery that he thinks he can turn this player around and get a lot out of him. We definitely need someone. Okay, we just sold Daniel Malin off to Roma. So we sold Daniel Malin off, and now we've got Ollie Watkins up top. And no one to back him up, no one to compete with him. Today, Watkins was, I will say, average. He scored a goal, but he missed 2 or 3 that a good striker put in the back of the net. So I think we just need something a little different. And I think he would fit in the squad. I like it because he can score goals. He's done it before. I don't like it because he's a little older. He's had a knee injury, and I just don't know if he just I'm conflicted on it, but we need someone. We need some right price because Villa can't afford to go and spend 40, 50, 60 million on a striker right now. If this is all we've got that we can do, I'm okay with it. But we just need someone in the door, man. We just need someone in the door. We need to get into that top 4, top 5 Champions League, so then we can then go spend more money. So I don't mind it. It's someone in the door, and that's all I've got at the moment.
I mean, let's see, score goals, right?
Go
At
ahead,
least you're
sorry.
starting to prove a goal scorer, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think Unai Emery, he doesn't want to sign guys that he hasn't seen score goals before. Like, oh, the ceiling on this kid is good and blah, blah, blah. No, we need someone who can score goals, who we know can score goals. And Emery Abraham can do that. Is he scoring a goal in every 2 games? No. Is he scoring a goal in every 3 games? Not really. But if we can get him to score 1 in every 3, 1 in every 4, I think it'd be a good fit. I think it'll fit in well with the squad. So, yeah. All right, moving on. The Hammers have had reached a verbal agreement with Adama Traore from Fulham, but the deal has reportedly fallen through. I think the deal fell through, Brooks, because they figured out the amount of money they're going to have to spend on baby oil. This dude lacquers himself up in baby oil before every freaking game. And they were like, wait a minute, we paid how much for him? And now we got to go spend almost that same amount on baby oil? No, cancel. This is not going to happen.
It's in the contract.
It's in the contract. That's what he said. He said, all right, now we're signed for my wages. And by the way, you're going to have to provide the baby oil for the – I don't know if you guys have seen this, but when he shows up on the field, his arms are like, shiny and his legs are all shiny. You're like, he just lacquers himself up in baby oil. There's a weirdo. He claims he gets held and tugged, and that's what he has to do to stop that. I don't know if you know this, but how he got into England's into the Premiership, Aston Villa bought him. Aston Villa brought him over from Barcelona. Yeah. He was at our club for a year and a half. No, he's not quite what we thought he was going to be, so we shipped him off to Wolves. Now he's just bounced around a little bit. So
journeyman.
That was interesting. I did think that would be a decent player for West Ham, but all right. Thomas Frank has issued a hand-off warning over £1 million rated Mickey Van de Ven. Center back Mickey Van de Ven. Tottenham have said, if you want him, you're going to have to pay us over $100 million for him, and declared he is Tottenham's future. Brooks, agree or disagree? Where are you at with Mickey Van de Ven at £100 million?
24, so he's not really. I mean, he's starting in his prime, right? I feel like he's had most of the highlights for Tottenham the last couple of years, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Especially that one where he dribbled the length of the field and scored a goal for them, pretty much. I think that's fair. Like, it's like, hey, like, test the waters, right? Who wants him? Like, this is what we're capping it at. We're drawing the line in the sand here. Come on, Real Madrid. Come on, Barcelona.
Nailed it.
What do you want? People do this all the time to throw fishing lines out there. Or Chelsea
for a new center back, right?
Yeah,
and they can afford him. There's a couple of things going in his favor. One, he's 24. 2, he's the fastest clocked player in the Premiership, right? He's quick, and I can tell you what. As a forward, when you play against someone with long legs and is quick like that, it is tough. He blocks shots all over the place. And 3, several years ago now, Harry Maguire was sold for £85 million, and he was the center back, right? So if that's the market, if that's where we're going to start, who's quicker and frankly a better player than Maguire, what's he worth? And I think £100 million is right. Will they sell him if an offer of $100 million comes in? I bet you they will. Should they? I don't know. Would you sell him, bro? If an offer came in tomorrow for $100 million, if you were Spurs?
I mean, who are you going to replace him with? Who's the next up and coming guy that you're going to replace him with? That's my question. Are we talking about? Do you think, in your opinion, do you think Van de Ven is becoming one of the top center backs in the world?
Yeah, because of his speed. And what he can do. He closes forwards down. I watched him against Villa, and man, Villa should have had 2 or 3 more goals, but he was just in the right spot every single time. And I think if you put him in a back line that has another competent center back and a decent right back, I think he will shine. I think he really is becoming that good, and his speed kills. So I really think now £100 million is going to be hard to say no to for Spurs, though, right?
Sure.
So,
I mean, listen, I think a lot of the market's going to dictate, you know, how he plays in the World Cup, right? Like,
yeah.
are you the 100 million pound man that they've set the line up? If he goes out and scores a bunch of goals for the Netherlands and is their top player in the World Cup, you know, people are going to be like Real Madrid, you know, or Barcelona or Chelsea. Hey, we may want to spend the 100 million because he put the performance on the World Cup, you know, to do well, and he's done well at the club level.
100%. All right, Brooks, that's going to kind of wrap us up for tonight. Hey, everybody, I do just want to say, please visit our YouTube channel. Look at all the great interviews that we've been doing. Brooks has been killing it with these interviews. He's got so many coaches, players, and other people, club directors we've been interviewing. The amount of interviews we've been doing, the information we're getting out of these interviews, Brooks, is absolutely amazing. So if you're watching tonight, if you're watching now, go ahead and click through some of those interviews that Brooks has been doing. Nate Norman is a great one, the Notre Dame women's head coach. We just put that up today. That was a phenomenal one. We had a couple of Jags from the showcase events in the last week or two. We got a couple of more coming. Brooks, you've got us backloaded on interviews, and it is awesome. I can't wait to see which interview blows up next because you've been killing it, man. So great job.
Yeah, someone got some former pro players we're interviewing, so talking about their soccer journey and giving information for the young kids out there that, you know, want to be pros or want to play in college, or college players that want to play in pros. So we're starting to get a little bit of that as well from the guys I know and the guys they've coached in the college level that have moved on to the pro. And so, yeah, we're trying to all different aspects of these interviews just to give people more information. So, yeah.
Let me ask you, out of all the interviews you've been doing the last couple of weeks, which one's been your favorite?
I won't ruin who I just talked to today, but today's was really good. One of the former pro players that I got to scout when I started early on in my scouting career, and when I was at Michigan State as a journalism major, I got to watch a little bit, play against Michigan State at home against the men's team. So this today was a really good one. You know, another good one. We've talked with the Army head coach Brian Plotkin. That was a really good one just to talk about the military school, you know, and how he recruits and how successful it's. I mean, he was talking about how everyone seems like a small funnel where it's just like you go to Army and you know, go into the military and, you know, that's what it is, but it's more than that. It's, you know, you have a job right after you graduate, you're leading 30 people. And then eventually these kids, when they're done doing their service, is they go into the private sector and, you know, or they go to grad school and they can get in any grad school they want to. You know, it's a very good education there at West Point. So that was a great one as well. Some local coaches as well. I won't spoil everything, but just some teasers there for everyone. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. All right. Thanks, Brooks. Appreciate it. Those interviews are awesome. Guys, go watch those. Big thank you to our sponsors as well, our partners. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thank you to Soccer World. Again, Soccer World's having their 50% off sale this week, so hit them up, soccerworld.net, for more information on their website. Thank you to Next Level Training, Aaron, Dylan, Scotty, Summer, Renato, Scotty. They're the best trainers around, so thank you to Next Level Training. Thank you to the Football Doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood, and his partner Spencer Nolf. They are the best doctors around. Great soccer players as well. Thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Make sure you visit them in Oak Park. And a big thank you to the Michigan Jaguars, whose showcases we were just able to cover. Luckily for us, they let us in and gave us some players and some coaches to interview, as you heard Brooks talk about there. So thank you for everybody who participated in that. Brooks, that's going to wrap us up for the night, my friends. And we're going to see what we're going to do. A couple different things coming up this week. We're not going to be live next Sunday, but we'll figure out a way to get in front of people live. We'll figure that out, but not next Sunday. All right, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.